Built on a cliff where fear was the entrance fee. Before the first guest ever arrived, many believed this hotel was a mistake, a structured balance between sky and sea, daring gravity to interfere. Just reaching it felt like a test of nerve. To understand why anyone would build a hotel here, we had to return to a time when luxury was no longer enough. Wealthy travelers had seen everything. Private islands felt predictable. Palaces felt ceremonial. Comfort had become expected, not memorable. What the world's elite wanted next was sensation. They wanted to feel something again. This cliff was never meant for comfort. Wind carved it relentlessly. Waves struck below with theatrical violence. Locals avoided it, calling it cursed, unstable, or foolish. But to a certain kind of visionary, that danger was a point. Fear creates attention. Height creates perspective. Isolation creates desire. The idea was radical. Instead of hiding risk, the hotel would frame it. Instead of protecting guests from the environment, it would place them inside it. Every arrival would feel earned. Every stay would feel unreal. The journey up the cliff was designed to unsettle, not reassure. Narrow roads, sharp turns, a final approach that forced silence. At first, critics mocked the project. They called it reckless. They questioned its safety. They predicted failure. Investors hesitated. Engineers argued. Construction stopped and started more than once. Yet the vision never changed. This hotel was not meant to be easy. It was meant to be unforgettable. As the structure rose, something unexpected happened. The rumors spread faster than the facts. Photos leaked. Stories circulated. Not of rooms or amenities, but of the feeling, the vertigo, the quiet, the moment when the horizon swallowed everything else. Curiosity replaced doubt. The reveal began before opening day. High-profile guests requested early stays, not for comfort, but for experience. They wanted to say they had been there first. They wanted proof they had faced the edge and stayed the night. Fear became currency, and this cliff became an invitation. What looked like a risky gamble was becoming something else entirely, a threshold, and once crossed, nothing felt the same again. When the hotel finally opened its doors, the reaction was immediate and divided. Some guests felt exposed the moment they stepped inside. The glass walls offered no escape from a void beyond. The cliff was always present, always watching. There was no pretending this was a safe, ordinary place. That discomfort was intentional. The reveal unfolded through experience, not explanation. Rooms were positioned to face the drop, never away from it. Beds aligned with the horizon. Balconies extended just far enough to make legs weak. At night, the sound of the ocean below was not softened or masked. It echoed upward, constant and unavoidable. Sleep here was different. It was lighter, sharper. At first, guests tried to control the fear. They stayed inside. They avoided the edges. They focused on service, design, and luxury details. But the hotel had been designed to gently remove those defenses. Pathways curved toward the views. Dining areas opened outward. Even private spaces nudged guests closer to the cliff, step by step. Something shifted on the second day for most visitors. The fear stopped feeling external. It became internal. A quiet dialogue began. Why am I here? What does this height make me feel? What happens if I let go of control? The hotel did not provide answers. It created space for the questions. Words spread in a different way than before. Guests did not describe the hotel. They described themselves after staying there. More alert, more reflective, more present. The cliff forced a confrontation that luxury usually avoids. It stripped away distraction and replaced it with awareness. As this reputation grew, a pattern emerged. Certain people were drawn here repeatedly. Founders, artists, leaders at moments of transition. They came when something in their lives felt uncertain. The hotel became a place not just to escape, but to recalibrate. Height has a way of shrinking problems. Risk has a way of clarifying priorities. But there was an unintended consequence. The more people sought transformation here, the more pressure the hotel absorbed. Expectations rose. Stories grew exaggerated. The cliff was no longer just an edge. It became a symbol. and symbols invite scrutiny. What began as a daring architectural statement was becoming something heavier, a proving ground. And not everyone who arrived was prepared for what it demanded. As the hotel's reputation solidified, the tension shifted from the environment to the people themselves. The cliff no longer shocked newcomers. What unsettled them was what happened after the fear faded. Without distraction, without escape, guests were left alone with their thoughts. And for many, that was the real challenge. The conflict emerged quietly. Some guests felt exposed in ways they could not articulate. The height stripped away performance. Status meant nothing at the edge. Wealth did not steady the wind. Titles did not quiet the ocean below. Everyone stood at the same distance from the drop, equal, vulnerable. Not everyone welcomed that feeling. A few checked out early. Others demanded room changes that did not exist. They asked for barriers, curtains, anything to soften the experience. The hotel refused. This place was built on honesty. To dilute, it would break the promise that drew people here in the first place. At the same time, another group leaned in completely. They woke before sunrise and stood barefoot on the stone floors, watching light spill across the water far below. They spent hours in silence. They stopped filling their days. For them, the cliff became a mirror. Every doubt, every unresolved decision surfaced without warning. The build-up intensified as stories spread of breakthroughs and breakdowns alike. A founder who resigned days after leaving. An artist who changed direction entirely. A leader who delayed a major decision until returning home. The hotel never claimed credit. It didn't need to. The pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. Pressure mounted from outside as well. Media attention increased. Safety concerns resurfaced. Regulators asked questions. Engineers reviewed structures again and again. The hotel passed every inspection. The risk was not physical. It was emotional. And that was harder to quantify, harder to defend. Inside, the staff sensed a shift. They learned to read guests more carefully, to know when silence was needed and when presence mattered. The role of service evolved into something closer to stewardship. This was no longer just hospitality. It was containment. The cliff demanded something from everyone who approached it. Some found clarity, some found discomfort, and some realized they had been avoiding the edge their entire lives. The emotional peak was approaching, and the cliff was done waiting. The climax did not come from the cliff itself. It came from the moment guests stopped resisting it. Standing at the edge, something became clear. Fear was never the obstacle. Control was. Those who stayed long enough felt the shift. The wind no longer threatened. The height no longer demanded attention. Instead, it offered perspective. From that elevation, problems lost their scale. Deadlines felt artificial. Conflicts felt temporary. What mattered rose to the surface with unsettling speed. This hotel did not change people by adding anything. It changed them by taking things away. Noise, distraction, the illusion of safety. The cliff became a teacher. It asked one question, over and over. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? By the final night, many guests slept deeper than expected, not because they felt safe, but because they felt honest. When they left, they carried no souvenirs, no proof they had been here, only decisions made quietly without witnesses. The resolution was never advertised, but it spread anyway. Today, hotels across the world borrow this idea. They build higher, closer to edges, closer to extremes, chasing the same transformation. But most miss the point. It was never about the cliff. It was about creating a space where avoidance was impossible. This place proved a rare truth. Luxury is not comfort alone. Sometimes, luxury is being forced to feel something real. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the beginning of a new future, built on